creature alive today who has survived millions of years of evolution without change, without passion, and without blood.
Okay, ignore that. You weren't supposed to see that. This is all new. I'm broadcasting on YouTube and on Facebook at the same time, and I'm still learning the switcher software. It's still playing. Oof. Okay, there we go. This is all sort of new to me, so bear with me. So Bryan Bites is back. That's right, Bryan's Bites is back. And so am I. Happy Saturday. It's been a week. And got some packages to open up and some goodies to share and some stories to tell. The first thing, so I'm trying to get all this stuff set up for this new broadcast that I'm doing, okay? And I got all my monitors hooked up in my switcher app and everything's all set and ready to go. Well, everything works except switcher won't connect to my won't use my main screen as the main camera, because switcher you can only use as an app, like on an iPad or as an iPhone. So look, I'm a tech guy. I know my tech and I know how to troubleshoot. I know usually how to figure things out, but I couldn't figure this out. I did tutorials. I spent an hour trying to. The stream would go from my second monitor, but then that's me not sitting there. Okay. So after an hour, Mr. High Tech Bryan simply just said, "You know what? Fuck it." And I picked up my monitor and I moved it, and I moved the other one over here, and so that's how we have this image now. Yay! I love getting back to switcher because I can pre-program all sorts of goodies and pictures, and like eventually Andy will get on and he'll say something snotty and I can cut away to this, which I think is funny. I'm gonna let's see here. Yep, it's still going. Okay, I'm just checking the feed status. Okay, so goodies. I've got bunches of boxes and stuff to open of all sorts of variety, lots of crazy stuff. So we're gonna start. I got small box. I've ordered a lot of stuff lately. I don't know what this is. I have my suspicions, so let's find out. Okay. Yep. Okay. My very first car was, you all know about it. It's was this hysterically falling to pieces mucus green Volkswagen. I call it the Mucus Mobile, but I loved that car. I loved that car like I've never loved a car before and since. So I have lots of, I honor the memory of the Mucus Mobile, and by collecting Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars, whatever I can find. And my very first one I ever got was, I think I got this like at Odd Lots, back when it was called Odd Lots, and it's just this really cheap plastic VW Bug. And I've had it on display and as part of my collection for 3 decades, until 2 weeks ago. And that's when Mac, my dog Mac, found the car. He's tall enough to hop up and grab stuff, and this thing was sitting right over there, and he hopped up on it. And of all the things he could have grabbed, he couldn't grab a stupid, well, all that stuff is relatively valuable. Well, he couldn't just eat a tissue. He had to take this, and I went into the bedroom, and I turned on the light, and there's Mac with this car in 400 pieces. So this is going up here. Yay. Okay, I got a bunch of. Okay, I bought a new display about a year ago. I had this display that I dreamed of having since I was a kid. It's just this Star Wars action figure. It's a 12 back. I'm sorry. I need to remember to talk to the camera because my actual iPad monitor is down. It's down here, so I'm looking down at myself talk instead of looking at the camera. So I will try to be better about that. So anyhow, I got it's this Kenner display from 1978 for the first 12 action figures, and I've never owned it. Joe did. Would he share it with me? Would he allow me to borrow it and bask in its glory? No. I had to buy it from Second Chance Collectibles here in Atlanta. But I put all my original 12 Star Wars action figures up. It was glorious. It was awesome. Well, then I got another display. It's a custom-made lighted display, and it's totally badass. It's designed for the original 12 action figures, and it's you're not going to be able to see it until I show it off in a video that I'm doing called Beyond My Space. But what happened was I moved all my figures to this display case, and now the one I bought last year is empty. So, God bless eBay. And I purchased, these are reproductions, but these are the classic vintage Star Wars figures. I have another box down there. We're not going to open up that. But I rebought the first 12 as reproductions, which will go up on the shelf. Because God forbid I can't not have both displays showing what they're supposed to. Okay. Cool. Andy, even when I tell him, oh, I got to crack down, things are tight, thinking about buying a new house, Andy will still pop in Messenger and be like, hey, I've got this, and it's only $50. And I'm like, okay, all right. And he messaged me a couple weeks ago, and he says, and I don't mind doing this. I don't mind buying the stuff because Andy's a good friend, and he always throws tons of extra goodies in the box. Most of it's nonsense, but occasionally there's fun finds. But he's like, hey, I've got an LP unopened of the soundtrack to Jaws 3. Do you want it? And I'm like, oh. It's a terrible movie. It's a terrible score, but it's got a really nice cover. I do like the cover, so I said, sure, let's do it. So I order a single LP, one, and this is what I get. I get a box. Oh, that is heavy. So let's find out together what I spent $50 on. Well, right off the bat, I have a Fast and Easy garnishes from the Pampered Chef cookbook. Great. My ex-wife used to sell Pampered Chef, and I hated Pampered Chef. Thank you. Another book, Elegantly Easy Creme Brulee and Other Custard Desserts. Because, you know, what little free time that I have, I often think, I want to make a custard dessert. I'm gonna have an adult beverage. I'm gonna make a custard dessert, and I'm gonna rock it. Ooh, CDs. Okay, all right. What do we got? We have Dine, a collection of music from around the world to enhance your dining experience. Wow. The liner notes starts with, we all eat. We all eat. So that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. It reminds me of the albums in the 60s, in the 50s and 60s. They would release an album of anything. And trust me, I find, and usually they're small labels, and it's like, Irv Thornburg recites Lincoln's most famous speeches. And they released that as an album. You can buy that. You could buy that. You still can. Go to Used Kids Records. Hey, this is the soundtrack to Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I have this on LP, but I do not have it on CD. Ooh, that's worth the price of the box itself. Available for the first time with over 37 minutes of additional music. You know, my only problem with additional music, I'm a soundtrack collector, and I love soundtracks, and I yearned for the day when we would get complete scores, okay? Because it used to be, in the 80s, you would have, like, the soundtrack to Over the Top, Sylvester Stallone, arm wrestling movie, yay. You get 9 songs by Giorgio Moroder, you get 5 songs by Giorgio Moroder, 4 or 5 others by popular acts at the time, Sammy Hagar, and then you get 1 Giorgio Moroder soundtrack, actual piece of music from the film. Never a fan. And then for scores, you would get, you know, an LP can hold it to 20 minutes per side, so you get 40 minutes of music. And I used to be like, I want all the music. Like the Star Wars soundtrack had almost all the music. Empire Strikes Back had almost all the music. Jaws didn't. Tons of movies didn't. Now they release these things full, complete, 3 hours worth of music. And that's fine, and I love that we live in a world where this stuff exists. The problem is that most of that music is, and I'm not being disrespectful, when removed from the movie, it's kind of boring. Tales from the Crib. All new, on this disc, all new Tales of Terror. It looks like a rap album, though. Drew Down, Can You Feel Me? No, Drew, I am not down, nor can I feel you. Hip Hop's Most Wanted 2. 13 hits from coast to coast, including Jay-Z. I'm going to judge this by the year it was released. This is 1997, okay? Featuring Foxy Brown. Oh, I'm not going to pronounce any of those titles. And finally, I love these. Camelot Music, the Jazz Sampler 2. I bet you my friend Phil, who I worked with Camelot, he would judge this accordingly if this was a quality group of artists. Okay, let's get to the LPs. Excuse me. Remember, I ordered 1, and I have exactly. Okay, we'll start off with Dr. Dolittle with Rex Harrison. I've never seen Dr. Dolittle. However, I think I'm familiar with one of the songs. If I could talk to the animals. Is that from Dr. Dolittle? Talk to the animals? I see nothing that insinuates talk to the animals. They did that song on The Muppet Show. That's the only reason I know it. The greatest folk songs ever sung. The Wilcox 3. I like these guys on the cover. They 2 of them are pretty cool. The guy at the top, he's just happy to be there. All right, when they're out on tour, he's the one that's not getting laid. Okay, but he's just happy to be here. Hey, man, I'm part of the Wilcox 3. I'm not the most popular of the 3, but I'm a 3rd, and that matters. Oh, see, isn't that gorgeous art? I love that. It's just so 1983. I love it. Love it. Okay. Oh, here we go. Walter Murphy, the Phantom of the Opera. That's interesting. Walter Murphy is famous for, like, organ music, I believe. Walter Murphy plays the hits. I will listen to this, because it's probably just cheesy enough for me to enjoy. All right. And finally we have Best of Disney, Volume 2. I wonder if this is a Volume 2 from the one I had as a kid. So it's got the XXVI88. So I think that would have to be... It's either 1978 or 1988. It has the Disco Mouse, Mickey Mouse March as a disco song. So I'm assuming this is from 78. Nice. I wonder if this is a volume 2 from the Best of Disney that I had. I just said that. I don't know why I said it again. Maybe I'll say it a third time. Like, keep it in threes. Like the Wilcox 3. Wilcox 3. Okay. Okay, 2 more things to show. How do I do this? Well, first off, let's take a moment, shall we? I'm not sure if you all saw, I haven't been online live since the national championship game. So if you're unfamiliar, I am happy to show national champ, locker room swag, the Ohio State University, 2024 national champions. But you didn't beat Michigan. Oh, you're not really champions. You didn't even play in your you know what? We didn't make the rules. Okay? No, we didn't beat Michigan. No, we didn't play in the Big Ten championship game. The new rules, the way things work now, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. We get to hoist this. They didn't hoist this. For the record, this is a replica. This is not the actual national championship trophy. Okay? I'm working on it, but this is a nice replica that I can display lovingly in my space. Now, okay, I've got one more thing to show. This is entirely gratuitous, okay? When I was 19, I got tired of everybody, my signature. If you've ever worked with me, if you've ever spent time with me, you know that I have terrible handwriting. I'm a really good artist, but I have terrible handwriting. As Mrs. Hartley would call it, chicken scratch. So I decided, and the weird thing is that I have friends and I have family. My sister and my friend Joe have the coolest handwriting. It just flows. I mean, I can have nice handwriting if I try. Okay, slow down. But they just Joe's handwriting looks like the Gerald Scarfe, who did a lot of Pink Floyd. He did all the lettering